So we've all heard it, every single set, Tron is dead. Every damn time. There's always a card like this one, for example, that will kill Tron. This is a Tron Killer. Also, apparently, this is a Tron Killer. As was this. What's this?
Tron Killer.
And this.
Tron Killer.
Tron Killer?
Tron Killer.
Tron Killer.
Tron.
Tron Killer.
Tron Killer. Yeah.
This card's a Tron Killer.
Tron Killer.
Tron Killer.
Yeah, fuck Tron, to be honest. I mean, when it gets down to it, it's just a really annoying deck because it's not like Storm, which requires any skill. It's just shit.
Is this the Tron Killer?
Tron Killer.
Oh my fucking Tron Killer. Tron Killer.
Tron Killer. Tron Killer.
Tron Killer.
It's definitely a
Det
Tron
här
Killer.
är legenden av den legendariska Tron-mördaren.
That's a Tron Killer, right?
Också bättre känd som The Tron Killer.
Tron Killer.
Tron Killer.
Tron Killer.
Tron Killer.
Ooh, look at the teeth on that thing. That is a Tron Killer. My God.
Tron Killer.
Somebody better call Bruce Boxleitner's wife, because that's a Tron Killer.
Tron Killer, Tron Killer, Tron Killer.
That is, without a doubt, a Tron Killer.
Tron Killer, Tron Killer?
Oh dang guys, better watch out. We got a Tron Killer here.
I think that's technically called a Tron Killer.
There is no doubt in my mind whatsoever that this card is the Tron Killer. Tron is done in Modern, and this time, I mean it, as opposed to the other 100 times.
Hi, I'm Vince, also known as PleasantKenobi on the internet. I'm the Magic the Gathering content creating equivalent of casting a Cataclysm in EDH, with literally no way to win off the back of it.
Am I getting hated out again?
Then that whole conversation is for nothing if it's a...
Cataclysm? Hey guys, lands matter!
Oh, man, this is the worst situation.
Okay.
Why?
Each player chooses an artifact, a creature, an enchantment, and a land.
With the release of Guilds of Ravnica imminent and a certain Tron Killer coming in the form of Assassin's Trophy, I thought it a good time to visit an old favourite before it gets hated out of the format. Oh, and it seems to be a cool thing in the community to rag on Tron players right now, so it seems like a great place to mine for comedy gold. I mean, fuck Tron though, am I right? Am I right? Fucking Tron players, bunch of bastards. Am I doing this right? I feel like I'm not being very convincing. So let's raise our glasses to an old friend and collectively sink our mana into an X-Spell for lethal to pay tribute to the glory days of Tron. In some ways this might be an obituary, a send-off for a controversial and infamous bogeyman of the format. Or perhaps we're all overreacting and people will be complaining about turn 3 Karns until the end of time. The core of Monored Tron is 2 combos. First, we can make a shitload of mana off our Tron lands and dump it into a big X spell. In the case of this deck, we lean on Banefire so that no pesky blue mages can counter our game-winning haymakers with negates. We intend to finish our opponent off or simply combo kill them with a double Banefire from a Chandra the Firebrand or Pyromancer's Goggles. Because nothing says I win more than a burn spell for 24 damage to the face. Get wrecked. The second combo involves deploying a Stuffy Doll, which on its own helps to ward off ground assaults pretty effectively from our opponents. But once you couple that with a Blasphemous Act, we can shoot people for 13 damage in the face. Double it with a doubler, and well, boom.
Headshot.
This time around though, we are gunning to be the most competitive version of Monored Tron available. Previously I've taken budget restrictions into account, but this time around I'm just here to fuck shit up and take names. And because I didn't bring a notepad, I can't really take any more names. I actually forget names very easily, so if you bastards in my Discord could stop changing your fucking names every 5 seconds, that would be great. Thanks. Anyway, where was I? For that reason, we are splashing for this playset of Ancient Stirrings in order to more consistently find our Tron lands, sweepers, planeswalkers, dolls and goggles. Now some of you might be reaching for that comment section to tell me, but this is Monored Tron! Oh sweet summer child, shut up. Monored Tron is a state of mind, it is a living, breathing meme. It isn't defined by some single colour of mana, but more the core tenets of its philosophy. That philosophy? Kill shit dead. Dead! dead! Alongside this cool combo stuff, we also have this normal boring Tron shit over here where we make a load of mana and cast a Karn on turn 3 and probably blow up our opponent's lands. But let's be honest, that's just a happy byproduct of being in the Tron archetype. That isn't what we came here to do specifically, but if you're driving a car, there's no point in removing one of the wheels for the sake of a joke because you aren't going to cross the fucking finish line. So here we are with the ability to just Karn people and win. Standard gets defined by 3/3s with first strike, and Modern gets defined by storm combos and 7 mana planeswalkers. On the upside, this gives the deck a solid secondary game plan of being a degenerate piece of shit. I actually quickly realised after just a few games of getting completely wrecked that Chandra is easily the worst fucking card in our deck. Whilst Pyromancer's Goggles can give us that final bit of mana for an Ugin, double and a Braid and a pinch, or double for the combo, Chandra does almost nothing aside from double up spells. As much as I respect this Walker as being part of the original build and being close to my heart for that reason, she's the Planeswalker equivalent of a dusty talcum powder fart onto the nose of a sleeping loved one. It seems like a good idea at the time, it might hold a special place in your heart for your personal development and maturity, but you're gonna fucking regret it when they wake up. Kozilek's return is our only interaction in the early game, with a lot of our real interaction being found in the sideboard, with game 1 being focused on assembling a combo and killing our opponent, and game 2 we can switch roles to be more of a control deck. That might not actually be the correct way to do it, but fuck it, that's how I did it. In terms of some foreshadowing on what I learned from the coming games, if I were trying to push this deck further towards being even more competitive, I'd probably replace both Chandras and the staff with 3 machine gun bastards, also known as walking ballistas to those of you that are new to the channel, in order to give us early interaction that plays well into the burn plan as well. I didn't do that for the video because if I make the deck too perfect, we won't be able to make a 5th Monored Tron video to bankroll my retirement. If I'm honest, I've got to think of that sweet, sweet advertising money. Oh, fuck. As always, this video is made possible and sponsored by a collection of fucking brilliant individuals. On screen are my largest patrons who help me brew new decks and support me in pushing this towards a full-time vocation. I'm also going to start shouting out random patrons as a little surprise thank you for being so supportive. So Mika Guiden, if I've pronounced your name correctly, from Louisiana, who was introduced to the channel by a friend around the time of Dragon Ball B's video, you are a fucking beauty. Stick around, my friend, because the best is yet to come. If you want to get involved with the PleasantKenobi Discord, support the channel financially, have your name up in glorious lights, or maybe even get involved with group calls where we discuss new brews, follow the link in the description below or the card on screen now to pledge your allegiance to the beard. And of course, as always, the amazing crew over at MTG Traders and Cape Fear Games continue to support and sponsor the channel. They had to weather out these terrible storms recently, and as far as I know, they've come out the other side of them in one piece. If you want digital cards, head over to Traders. If you want physical cards, head over to Cape Fear Games and use the discount code GGGetWrecked and get 8% off your PayPal order. They're generally great. MTG Traders is so easy to use. I was using it before I was making content. I'm going to continue using it now because they're fucking awesome. And with all of the formalities out of the way, let's cast some Banefire for lethal. Hopefully. We mulligan a shit hand into our moderate one-lander. The star into Stirrings makes this keepable, just about. Keep in mind we have one of the combos in hand. We scry a second Stirrings to the top of our library and then we cast Mine into Star. Untapped Spy Buff Canal from our opponent. If this is Storm Game 1, I'm going to stab someone. We draw a Mountain for turn, but decide to crack our Star for a green mana and Ancient Stirrings first in order to draw the card and look at 5 more cards to get as much information as possible before we decide what land to play. If we find a Tron piece, we just slam that over the mountain. But alas, Stirring meets a Spell Pierce. Whilst this is a minor annoyance, it clearly tells us that he's probably not a Storm deck. That's a good thing. Then our opponent kindly misses a land drop. Ha, that'll teach him to counter Kenobi's cantrips. We crack our second star, make a green, dig 5 deep with Stirrings and realise just how absurdly strong this card is. We take this power plant and cast a map. End of turn op from our opponent, which seems pretty weak as they could have been trying to use that in their turn to actually hit land drops, but whatever. A second land into a Grim Lava Dude for our opponent. We map in our turn and assemble Tron. We slam a Doll and choose our opponent for obvious reasons. They bolt us in end step. Doll seems good against base blue and red decks as their removal will not deal with it because they don't have access to Path to Exile or Collective Brutality, for example. They do nothing on their turn and pass back. We set up a 1-turn kill by deploying Pyromancer's Goggles. Next turn we strike for 26 damage. A single punch to the cranium that will shatter our opponent's tiny minds. We also just casually cast a Karn Sign of Urza. 9 mana, casually, on turn 5. Don't worry about it. Don't question it. It's fine. We make a Karn bot with baby Karn, but it gets blasted to bits and Grimmy then shoots Karn. And then again on their turn they shoot Karn and Karn is down. Rest in peace, my friend. We ping an end step to take our opponent to 19. We then cast Blasphemous Act. Yeah, okay. On to game 2. They lead Fast Land and we lead Power Plant into Little Ball of Love. Opt in end step. They untap and play a Colonnade, which is a surprise as I got the impression they were some sort of Wizards or Delver deck in game 1. We draw another land, which is not what we want to see, and play a tower. The upside is that if this is just strict Jesco control, for instance, also known as American control to those of us that respect history, then a huge Banefire for lethal is a legitimate way of winning, as long as they don't manage to apply too much pressure whilst we try to assemble enough mana. On the topic of pressure, here is a Geist of Saint Traff. Okay, so they are blue, white, red tempo, I guess, which explains the fast lands and the Lava Man in game 1. This could have been terrible for us if it weren't for the fact we have Kozilek's Return in our hand. I would love to wait till his turn to hopefully get more value out of this than a 1-for-1 with this Kozis, but we have to respect the Spell Pierce as we saw it in game 1, and this kind of tempo list should be playing Mana Leak or Remand or even Queller, so I Kozi blast the tits off this Ghost in my main phase. A Colonnade number 2 from them, and nothing else. We continue to deploy Tron lands and play a map to allow us to complete the set like some kind of obnoxious big mana stamp collector. End step, we see a Snappy into Opt. He is digging for gas and wants to apply some pressure. We get slapped upside the head by a member of the Blue Man group.
I'm afraid I just blew myself. There's gotta be a better way to say that.
We crack our map, untap and assemble the final piece of this not so very complex puzzle. I then cast the greatest modern staple to grace a Tron list, Pyromancer's Goggles. We are set up to Banefire for approximately 1 million damage next turn. That is until we get clicked in end step. Shit. So Vanity Clique tucks our Banefire to the bottom of our library and we get to draw a card. It's a chromatic star. It's not going to kill him like a Banefire would. We also get bolted to add insult to proverbial injury. He cracks in for 9 damage thanks to his Colonnade, meaning we are dead next turn unless we can produce something impressive. Okay, so that is not the worst top deck in the world. I'm sure people have seen Karn for top in many a game of Magic and probably won. We cast Karn and consider our options for what to kill for a little while. Our only option, realistically, as we are on 6, is to kill a Colonnade and hope he doesn't play another land next turn. That will allow us to survive on 1 life and give us another chance to draw a Banefire, Kozilek's Return, Blasphemous Act, or perhaps even an Ugin. He plays a land, attacks in a way that kills us and Karn, and leaves us alive if we have a removal spell in hand, but we don't have a removal spell in hand, so we are dead. Turns out drawing almost nothing but lands in a 21 land deck will get you killed in Modern. Who would have thought it? We have 2 pieces of Tron, a doll, and 3, count on 3 Blasphemous Acts. We also have a little anti-aggro pup, Filigree Familiar, so we are 1 land off casting our first spell, so this is actually quite risky. YOLO. Tower and pass, strand from our opponent, we draw a star and we play it. There's a decision here. Do we keep this star to give us possibly the much needed red mana to cast our first Blasphemous Act further down the line, or do we use it now to dig deeper into our deck? I decided that land drops are just too important to miss, so I crack it for green just in case we draw into Ancient Stirrings this turn. We draw a 3rd land, so I can't be too disappointed with how this went. Fetch on end step from them, they untap and cast a Figure of Destiny.
Now that's a name I've not heard in a long time.
This could be a problem, but like most creature-based problems in Modern, it can usually be solved by putting a doll in front of it and then casting Blasphemous Act. We draw a Banefire and deploy the pseudo-solemn puppy, gaining 2 life. He levels up the figure in end step, but on his turn does nothing. I fail to draw another land, and I do draw a 4-mana planeswalker, so go me, I guess. We pass doing nothing as well. End step, another level up. Figure is now a 4/4. Bearing in mind this isn't actually the level up mechanic. The level up mechanic is sorcery speed for those of you watching at home. This is just like the proto level up mechanic, which wasn't shit. And we've seen it since on that Abzan card from Karn's block as well. But yeah, this is better than level up. I'm just using the word level up colloquially. They shock in our land drop and go to combat. They swing and we windmill slam that chump. The doggo drew us into a power plant. Good boy. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy then? Eh? We assemble the Tron and then we play Doll. Tron! And it gets pathed. We then get slapped for 4 damage. I really want to resolve this doll in my hand, considering our opponent is on 14 life, so we're 1 activation and an act away from killing them. We consider baiting out counter magic with an act, but that leaves us with no board and getting smacked again. I decide to try and resolve doll here, which would be bad against Remand or Path, but we can still cast Chandra this turn, and we can also Chandra into act next turn if we draw a Tron land. I'm unsure if this was the tightest line, but it had the biggest upside, I feel. The doll resolves, so we attempt to slam Chandra 2 as the coast appears to be clear, but she meets a spell pierce and we didn't play around it when we obviously knew they could have one, as we saw on game 1. That said, how many people keep spell pierce in against Tron? It seems so bad past turn like 3 or 4. The untap failed to make a land drop and thus cannot do the final level of figure, which would give him the ability to fly over the doll. Unlucky! I'm expecting counter magic here. We cast Blasphemous Act and it is met by negate, which is obviously a bad play because this spell does literally nothing. It's like a Revel in Witches on an empty board against control. Not really. They'd actually be dead if this resolved. That was a good play from them. I was just throwing shade and joining in the circle jerk. We get bolted. They do nothing with their turn, leading me to suspect yet more counter magic. I play a chocolate starfish and crack it, making green mana. We draw a Karn. I use the stirrings in my hand to dig for another Tron land. If we can't resolve an act through permission, we can just point a Banefire at their face like one almighty bukake. I decided to try for act number 2, mana leak. Oh man, 1 mana off paying for it as well, that's tilting. They do nothing again, I fail to hit a land drop. We forget to ping them because magic is hard. We cast a 3rd act and we are met with a negate, which is lame because the spell literally does nothing, etc, etc, hot spicy meme extra. We crack a sphere for green, draw and make another land drop and pass. We get helixed. The race to Banefire just got approximately 1 tower longer. We draw a worm coil. I decided to try and resolve Karn. This does 2 things. Firstly, if it eats a counter spell, we can still cast Banefire on the figure for 4 damage to kill it, so we have a backup plan and an out to the impending 8/8 that's coming. Additionally, if they counter Karn, they can't end step turn the dude into an 8/8. However, the best possible case happens and Karn resolves. The Karn Father is here and he sends Figure of Destiny to the Phantom Zone. They scoop it up. The cool thing is that we could Banefire, kill them next turn, we can ping them and abrade for 3 damage on our doll in end step, then untap and shoot them right in the shitter for 11 damage. Monored Tron is back, baby, and it feels good. 4 lands, a sphere, and 2 Wormcoil engines. It's not great, but fuck it, mulligans are for chumps. We play a star, they play a slippery bogle. Oh man, even the players that win big tournaments with Bogles hate Bogles.
Because I hate Bogles.
For those of you new to Modern, the game plan of Bogles is to play a hexproof threat that the opponent will struggle to deal with or interact with and apply as many pairs of pants to kill you.
The skill of the opponent and the skill of the pilot doesn't really make any fucking difference. Because all you do is you ignore everything your opponent's doing and you go, guy you can't interact with. Pants, 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 kill you. You don't care about any of their removal. You
How is that fun? I don't understand.
I didn't say it's fun.
No, for
I said why I like the deck.
When I'm referring to pants, we are talking about a multitude of cheap and efficient enchantments, many of which you would never play in your sealed pool, but when combined with a hexproof creature, make for a fun time for exactly no one involved except the Boggles player, and even then their family probably shuns them at parties. Greatness, kinda, at any cost. We sphere for green and draw another land. This Ugin will be incredible in this matchup if we can just assemble the puzzle. Rancor and Spider Umbra means that we take 4. We draw Banefire, which isn't fantastic here as it doesn't interact with him in any way other than killing him, and we don't have enough mana to do that. Daybreak Coronet. We take 7 and they gain 7. Oh, that hurts. They play a 1-drop. We fucking pray for that top deck tower. Come on, Karn Father. Deliver us this day our deserved turn 4 Ugin. Oh, fuck off, Karplusan Forest, you fucking wanker. They cast an Unflinching Courage and we just die horribly at the hands of this. We have 2 Wrath effects in hand and we are on the play, so Kozilek's return is approximately 33.3% recurring, of course. Better because of this. We lead with a Chromatic arsehole. They play an Elven Boggle Bastard, they play an Arbor, which makes our return even better, and they apply some Totem Pants. We go to 18. We untap, play a land and pass back. Kozilek's return is an instant, which is sick, so we're looking to get some more value by killing as much as possible. In response to the second pair of Spider Pants that would take the creature out of range, we cast the return and killing the Arbor and burning away 1 pair of pants, thanks to the Totem Armor trigger. We go to 15. We untap and slam a Karn. We also drew Ensnaring Bridge, so the faster we empty our hand, the better. We make a mini Karn bot and it gets Path. Isn't Path to Exile such a bad card? I mean, it gave me a land, and so that's just terrible and overrated, and net deckers are ruining Magic. Ramp me harder, daddy. Anyway, Scout gets some Ethereal Pants and kills Karn. We draw a land, play a land, and deploy the bridge. A second Scout, eh? We play a map and then they scoop it up. Looks like they haven't got anything in their deck to actually deal with the bridge here. Onwards and upwards to gain 3. We had 2 parts of Tron, a cantrip that somehow remains unbanned in Modern in spite of Ponder and Preordain being apparently too good, a win condition and a card to stabilise us. If only this were Palaka Worm, eh? 1 Scouty Girl from them and we stir it up, failing to find Tron, so we just take a map. They play Stony Silence.
This card, it's a Tron Killer.
Well, this map ain't much cop now, is it? I just think that Stony gets exiled by a Karn, or collateral damage from an Ugin, or just some such nonsense further down the line. Dryad Arbor and a core Spirit Dancer from them. Now watch carefully as I hand this game to my opponent. Do you see that? Wait, let's go back. I played this forest here instead of a mountain. This is part of it, but can you see where I went wrong? I didn't realise that I could cast Banefire for 2 and kill the core Spirit Dancer before it just won them the fucking game. Oh man, I really hope this punt doesn't come back to haunt me. Oh no. Oh my god! Tron land off the top? Nope. We can't even blast us out the board away because Stony Silence is on our map and we played a forest instead of a mountain. In some ways, Stony Silence killed our dreams.
Tron Killer!
Well, yeah, so I punted that game away. But a quick aside, does anyone think the Slippery Boggle looks a little bit like a horrible alternative dimension version of Kirby? Have you guys seen Kirby with his shoes off? Yeah, let that sink in. But don't stare for too long, lest you become a monster yourself. So for this video I played a lot of games with this deck. I must have recorded nearly 20 games, maybe a bit more. And yes, I cherry pick the most interesting matches, stuff I think will be most entertaining, or whatever helps to form the narrative that I think is funniest for this week's episode. I'm never going to tell you a deck is competitive when it isn't, and I'm 100% transparent about whether or not I took it through a league when I talk about decks. Legacy Slivers, for example, surprised me. Modern Horses did badly, but that was probably because Wizards put me in the blacklist. So that week my draws were bad. Thanks for that, Wizards. It had nothing to do with the deck. The deck was great, honest. So what did I lose to this week? Well, among other things, I turned 3 Karn ad nauseum player, who then proceeded just to go off anyway, because fuck fair magic, right? I exile a land, and then Balloon King off exile or suspend or whatever, which gave them enough mana, thanks to Simian Spirit Guide, to Angel's Grace, ad nauseum, draw their entire deck, cast Lightning Storm off of 3 more monkeys, and dome me for lethal. But remember kids, let's keep Stoneforged Mystic Bandin Modern. He combo killed me in a similar fashion in game 2 where I wasn't lucky enough to cast a 7 mana planeswalker on turn 3. Modern is so fucking weird. I then got dumpstered by blue-red Wizards. They had a full-on Tron Killer in play, but I was able to clutch Blasphemous Act to survive and put them low. Well, I almost did. They snapcast a mage and opt to look at exactly 1 card, and they found their out. They found the remand. Better lucky than good, I guess. Then we had Hardened Scales Affinity prove that if you have a Tron Killer in play, 2 jars to protect it, an adequate clocking Walking Ballista plus Throne of Geth, and a natural state for the only fucking non-land permanent your opponent plays, you're going to win that match of Magic. Look at those sad, sad Tron lands, only making 3 mana. Oh man, Magic isn't fair. They even had the Abrade, but they have the 2 jars. Fuck my life. Turns out humans also puts down adequate enough pressure and hand disruption that a Tron Killer like Dampening Sphere is enough to end you because you just don't get to play your threats early enough. Oh, and Reflect Mage at the exact right time is also pretty damn good against Wormcoil Engine, especially when you have another one to follow up with the next turn. Yeah, fuck you, Modern. Just let me have my fun. Then Scapeshift shat on me for my great height. I don't think this deck has much game against Scapeshift at all either. Oh, and Infect. Twice. That doesn't feel remotely winnable. Ugh. The funny thing is, we streamed Electrostatic Pummeler in Modern on Monday. The VOD's on the channel if you want to see it. And we faced off against 2 fucking Jund decks in a row, which felt miserable for that deck. Where here we are, casting Karns and Banefiring people and playing Stuffy Dolls, and we can't find a Jund player for love nor money. Anyway, on to game 3. We have Star into Stirrings and to maybe not do a whole lot, so we mulligan it away. Tron is easy to assemble with this hand. We have one half of the Stuffy Doll combo and many solid top decks, so we keep this. They suspend an Ancestral Vision, so it's control or some form of as foretold deck. We play a land and pass. We also draw a Karn here, which is, yeah, that's solid. Better lucky than good, I guess. They cast Op and Serum Visions off the 2 islands. Perhaps they're trying hard to set up land drops as the game goes on. We map, assemble Tron and Karn their face off. We send an Is land to the Shadow Realm. Strand from them, we map for a forest so we can cast the Stirrings in a moment and cast the Sphere. I then realise we can cast Stirrings off the Sphere and that a red source would have been better off the map. Magic is hard. We tick Karn up and they exile something from their hand. I can't see what it is and I forget what it was. Sorry guys. We cast a Doll and it resolves. They fetch a Hallowed Fountain and play a Delta. We send the Hallowed Fountain to the Naughty Step and pass through to our second main phase. They can't use the floating mana from the land or a counterspell. We Stirrings off the Sphere, find a Staff of Nin and cast it. They Logic Knot it. That's a shame. I wanted my cake and I wanted to eat it. I play a land and map and pass. They resolve Ancestral and make a land drop. Guild of Gwyn. They blow up my tower, but I just use my map in response to go and find another one. They cast Serum Visions and we ping them and end step with our Doll. I exile another Hallowed Fountain because killing lands is good wholesome magic, kids, and I cast a Baby Karn. We uptick Baby Karn, they give us a Sphere instead of another Baby Karn. We crack it, find Wormcoil and slam it into play. They play a tapped Colonnade and concede. GG double Karn E. In game 2 we keep a hand that is so almost good but has no way to find a third Tron land, and we can just make land drops and hope to resolve Baby Karn, I guess, especially if they tap out for their own Walker on turn 4. Land drops are made, no spells are cast. End of turn 3, they Guild of Gwyn one of my Tron lands, which is fucking depressing. They cast nothing on turn 4, so I untap and slam a Karn into counter magic, and it gets eaten by a Cryptic Command as expected. I can't just sit here casting nothing. I'm effectively trying to clear the way to resolve a Staff of Nin or a big Karn here to take over the game. Staff would be excellent because the card advantage would help us win against control. They play a Search for its Cancer and pass back. We draw a Needle for the flipped search or turn or so down the line and Stirrings into a Tron piece. Because we are part of the way towards Tron again, I decided to preemptively Needle Field of Ruin now instead, as Blue-White Control seems to be playing 3 or 4 copies of that, so that I can tap out for cards next turn and the turn after, like if I were to draw a Stirrings into Baby Karn or a Doll, for example. They resolve a Teferi, which is bad news for us. We draw another 7 mana Karn and pass back, having done nothing with our turn and wishing this Needle was naming Teferi. They cast a Tron Killer.
This card's a Tron Killer.
Yes, that's a fucking Tron Killer. Thanks, Terran.
This card, it's a Tron Killer.
Our Staff of Nin gets countered by Cryptic, continues to tick up to Fairy, resolves a Chase, and now we're only out to draw Tron land into back-to-back Banefires to burn their face off. But alas, we do not. Karn gets remanded, then negated the turn after, which is funny because the spell literally does. Game 3, we are on the play. We have a slow hand with no way to really Tron them, so we ship it back. This hand may well be worse, but fuck it, when life gives you lemonade. Wait, I'm sure I've made a joke about this before. Am I running out of material? Who am I? Am I even relevant anymore? We lead Sphere, we Sphere into Stirrings and find the second Tron land. They cast Serum Visions and choose to Ghost Quarter our tower. Well, it's not great for us, it's still alright as they are now a turn behind us on lands, and that's pretty good against control. They cast Serum Visions and fail to make another land drop. Oh no, I am so sorry. We cast Baby Karn onto the board and tick up. They chose to give us a land. They suspend an Ancestral and pass back again. No land drop. We tick up, get a land instead of an Ugin and make a Doll. They make a tap land. We continue to draw cards off Karn and we cast a Wormcoil Engine. They tap out their whole 2 lands for Search for His Cancer. We go to set up a kill next turn, so we tick down Karn and make a dude. We get in for 6 with Wormcoil Engine. They make a land drop and cast Stony Silence.
Tron Killer.
We respond by double upgrading our Doll for 6 damage to our opponent's face. However, they have the path to exile and path it, countering our upgrades. That's frustrating, but I think we can still get there. We untap and cast a big Karn. We exile the Stony Silence, make a land drop, down tick Baby Karn, grab Ugin from the Naughty Step, cast it and bolt their face, and then we slam in and put them to 1 life, turning off fetch lands, leaving them dead to Ugin, leaving them dead to these creatures on board, Banefire off the top of our library, or tokens left behind from Wormcoil if they manage to somehow cast Verdict this turn, and they scoop it up. Got 'em. And now it's time for the engagement question of the week. Last week I asked what you would ban and unban in Modern, and the most common comments seemed to be about how tight my jeans were, so thanks for that, guys. Yeah. But the second most common theme seemed to be that people wanted to unban Stoneforge Mystic, then fucking reban her because you're a bunch of trolls. Thanks. I hate it. This week is a little different, actually. I just hit 20,000 subscribers, so we've hit a fucking awesome milestone here. So I want to do a Q&A, AMA, ASMR, B&M, B&Q video. So in short, I want your questions. Unique ones, funny ones, things that I haven't been asked before. Drop them in the comment section below and I'll pick a good handful of them and answer them in the Q&A video next week or the week after. So come on then.
Show me what you got!
We keep a 1-lander, and the moment this turn 1 swamp gets tapped, I panic. Keeping 1-landers that hinge heavy upon 1 card, like Vial or Ancient Stirrings, and then getting turn 1 Thoughtseized is not only backbreaking, but it's just quite frankly embarrassing. Many people don't know this, but the real reason that Probe was banned was because of this. The shame scoops of keeping a shit hand, and then having your opponent look at it or getting too much. People are just scooping out of games because of it. You're just scooping the response to the Probe because you kept that 1-lander. It's the Magic the Gathering equivalent of egg on your face, pink eye, or spilling toothpaste down your trouser leg and then going into work and being called out in the team meeting for supposedly having cum on your pants and running home crying because you just want to be loved. You just want to be loved. Anyway, it's our choice, as this is Funeral Charm, not Thoughtseize, so small mercies, I guess. Fun fact, Funeral Charm can kill Stuffy Doll, but shh. Don't tell our opponent that. I really hope they don't fucking notice. We discard a staff and get ready to settle in for a game against what I can only assume is 8-rack. We play a star, they play a Ravenous Rat. I quickly check that this isn't a Pauper 1v1 queue. We discard Banefire to its trigger. We start into another land and then stir it into a power plant and play it. They resolve Pack Rat. Shit me, is this some form of 8-rat? We play another land and pass. This is looking bad for us. This mad rat lad might just kick our fucking teeth in. A second Pack Rat and we take 4. Oh boy. We then draw Tower because just Tron things. Fucking hell. Sometimes you just get lucky. We cast a Stuffy Doll and a Karn, Sign of Urza, because, you know, it's fair. We choose to tick him up, so they will struggle to kill him or make profitable attacks outside of having Charm to kill our doll. We hit more lands with Karn. They Inquisition us, but because we've got fuck all in hand, we got him. They play crazy rat rack effect that flips from Kamigawa block. But boy, I respect this player's commitment to a theme. We take a moment to read Nezumi Shortfang to ensure that we know exactly how it works. They swing at Karn, we block 1 big rat and Karn goes to 1, and our opponent takes 4 thanks to the Stuffy Doll. We draw a star, crack it, and we find another doll. We tick up Karn and get given another land. We cast our second doll, which means our opponent can kill Karn, but it needs to take 8 damage to do so by swinging with everything. Stuffy Doll, you are a beauty. Our opponent activates Nezumi, we ditch a land. We find a big Karn and uptick baby Karn. Instead of Banefire, our opponent gives us a land. No surprises there. This means we might be able to dome out our opponent by grabbing that Banefire in a turn or 2. We play a tower and cast Trouserless Karn. A Karn, you might say, that feels particularly liberated from being in trousers. Between Kirby with no shoes and Karn with no pants, this week's episode has a lot of pantless tomfoolery. We uptick Big Karn and target our opponent who exiles an Undying Evil. Okay, yep, it's confirmed. This is a fucking mad lad. They concede when staring down 2 Karns and 2 Stuffy Dolls. In game 2 we keep yet another 1-lander because I hate myself. Inquisition takes away our Kozilek's for turn and leaves me with access to Ancient Stirrings. Unsure if that is correct, but I can see why they might do this. They then scoop it up. Fair enough, they don't want to play against Tron anymore. I can understand that. Okay, so we come to our final round for today. Unkeepable 7 into mediocre 6, but it's better than a 5, I guess. We lead mine into star. Our opponent fetches up an Overgrown Tomb of a Windswept Heath and plays an Aether Vial, so I have no fucking idea what they're playing, but I'm already excited. We draw a tower, crack a star, draw a Karn, and Ancient Stones into Power Plant. Easy game, easy life. Opponent takes up his vial and misses a land drop. Oh baby, you are not going to like this. We cast a Karn and they scoop in response. Sometimes Tron is easy mode magic, guys. We have an opener with natural Tron, Karn and Stuffy Doll. Yeah, why not? Fuck it, why not? They lead bird, we lead mine and draw an act, meaning we are drawing pretty fucking hot and we're one red man off being able to 13 them as well as Karn them. They make a land drop and cast Fauna Shaman. We play our second Tron land. They make a land drop and hit us for 2 damage. In our upkeep they collect a company and hit both Tide Hollow Scholar and Free Sale. Booty man. Fucking hell. Yeah, I was just sick in my mouth a little bit. That's disgusting. They take a little while to decide on what to take, but the logical choices are Karn and Blasphemous Act, as they both are able to remove the creatures and get whatever you take back anyways. We assemble Tron. I play a doll, I need all the Fauna Shaman. They play Eternal Witness to get back the company and they flunge, we block 1 and go to 14, and we top deck Blasphemous Act. This is it, kids. We're doing it. It is happening. The fucking stars have aligned. We cast Goggles and then pray to God they don't have a part of this bird's mana. We cast a double Blasphemous Act to do exactly 16 damage, but we make sure to tap our Stuffy Doll for massive damage. Our opponent is less than pleased. The funny thing about all of this is how often do you actually see someone Tron the Blasphemous Act people to death with the Stuffy Doll. Look mate, just embrace it. Just fucking breathe it in. Breathe that in. Go on. Oh, it just smells like jank. Right, so let's summarise how we got on with today's deck. This list still isn't top tier. It really struggles to compete with the faster decks in Modern and needs better early game interaction, which I think we can find in Walking Ballista, which means it's probably time to cut some of those fucking Chandras. Goggles continues to randomly combo kill people out of nowhere, while also occasionally providing that last bit of mana to cast a much needed Worm Coil, Karn, Ugin, or even a Blasphemous Act double. Ultimately, this more competitive version of Monored Tron featuring Ancient Stirrings is better against decks that want to durdle or a bit slow. So we're talking like mid-range decks, we're talking about durdly decks, and we're talking about control decks. So Blue White Control, Jund, Abzan, I think we'll have a good time against them. Mardu, Pyromancer, I think again we'll have a good time against those. Blasphemous Act performs very well there. As you saw, the moment your opponent stumbles or durdles around a little bit, we get to monopolise on that by playing better cards than them. That's kind of what Tron does at its core, is just play bigger, better cards because they cost more mana and shouldn't be played so early. As you can also see, playing Karn Liberated of the Pounce means that we can just punish people for missing land drops. So they miss a land drop and we just like pew pew get them. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think the deck is still just a meme? Do you think it could get into the upper tiers, even a tier 3 perhaps? Let me know in the comment section below, and don't forget to leave a question for me to answer in the Q&A. I've hit 20k, I never thought I'd ever get this far, so let's keep the ball rolling. 100k by end of next year? Yeah, why not? So hit me with some questions, I'll answer them in the Q&A. I've been Vince, also known as PleasantKenobi on the internet. I release one of these pretty much every week, and I stream every single Monday night at 7 PM BST over on twitch.tv/PleasantKenobi. On the 26th and 27th, by the way, I will be streaming Guilds of Ravnica prior to it coming out, both standard and limited, on Arena on my Twitch channel. There'll be announcements on here, announcements on Twitter, announcements on Facebook, so follow me on those. But I'll be on the 26th from 10 AM PST time zone, which is like 4 PM my time, to play some Guilds of Ravnica. Courtesy of Wizards of the Coast. Look, even a rude beardy boy like me sometimes gets the recognition that we kinda deserve. Otherwise, please like, comment, subscribe, share the video with your local groups and your friends, because it helps so much just to get the videos out there and get more eyes on them. So I spend a lot of time and effort on making these fucking things. So enjoy it. I will leave you with Toma's full recording, because Toma didn't quite understand what I wanted from him, so he went off on a little bit of a rant telling me off for hating on Tron. Until next time, ta-ta for now.
Alright, hello, this is Tomer, and I'm going to say Tron Killer a bunch of times. Alright. Tron Killer. Tron Killer? Tron Killer. Tron Killer? Tron Killer? Is this the Tron Killer? Is this the mighty Tron Killer? Why do you hate Tron, Vince? Tron has done nothing wrong to you. It just wants to have turn 3 Karn. Is that so wrong? Vince? Is it? I don't think so. Please don't kill Tron. It's awesome. Yay, Tron. Tron winner? Tron winner! Alright, bye.